we're just going to collapse on top of you and hope that you all die style of composition that Gen.G does have.
T1 kind of misread what Gen.G were looking for here. They banned the Aurora. Don't want to lose the top lane. Don't want to take away Doran's ability to get prio there. As Doran is continuing to put pressure on in this lane, but won't really find himself with a CS advantage. And the Camille, like I said before, is really just about team fights later on. It's the setup with the Galio they drafted it for, not because they think it's going to smash Ambessa in this early game or gain prio. But because he doesn't show up, Doran does get away, is down his flash now, and is going to lose a plate here. But it was a dangerous moment there for Ruler topside. Hits level 6.
Yeah, that is going to be the stun onto Carrier. Ruler's still there, though, and does have a lot of damage. As the flash forward, and Ruler will find it, dashes after the Corki, and there is first blood, but it's for the Yunara.
Yeah, the Yunara ends up getting the huge value out of the level 6 spike.
That as the Keeper's Verdict comes out, and Ruler is just knocked away, yeah, well, Brom is just, okay, we've got a little bit more of an engage here towards the bottom side. As now Ruler may immediately get punished, does have the barrier, some sidesteps come through, public execution, and he puts Ruler down. Duro not able to find the Winter's Bite this time. The immediate answer comes on through, and this time around, Ruler not quite as okay as he was indicating in that replay, which might make this a little bit more dangerous, but with Owner not in the area, just finishes the Sundered Sky, but Canyon already had that one in his back pocket, so feeling pretty good, and utilizing that Sundered Sky window to grab the Drake. So that is going to be 2 objectives taken here by Gen.G, just 1 more. And Chovy and Faker will be still ping-ponging some waves here. The Rift Herald now down to about 4,000 as Gumayusi Carrier in the area. A bit of a rotation down. The Keeper's Verdict comes through, but it's immediately buffered by the ulti from Canyon. And the heroic entrance comes down there as well. Justice Punch, fantastic. But the Yunara is dead. They've taken down the Poppy, but that is not enough value. And Keen will be wiped out as well. Doran continues the fight. This guy's Ambessa is absolutely absurd as he picks up the triple. Can it be the Quadra? He's tanking up the turret, and he will allow Owner to pick up the kill, although Chovy may not. So he's just going to get himself out of there, but he is the last man standing.
He's the only one alive on the side of Gen.G, and like I said, this fight's going to blow the game open. T1.
Yeah, Doran is now a huge problem for Gen.G. 4-0-1, 1.7k gold lead just for himself. And the first Cloud Drake will go over to T1 here. That'll be their prize.
And he's going to be hitting big spikes early in this game with the gold that Doran just picked up. So they're going to actually look to gank Doran himself.
Yep, looking for a bit of an angle here. Hextech Ultimatum comes down. Public Execution comes in as Carrier is going to evict the Camille. And now it's only Canyon and Duro that are down here underneath this turret. And Doran once again is going to survive.
Doesn't even have to flash in the exchange. Carrier getting huge value out of the Keeper's Verdict there to save the play. Now Owner's here and Duro's left alone.
Yep, he's going to put down the door. Tries to flash his way out, but there's a teleport coming in. Ulti from Duro coming on through here, and I think they know that this Brom is dead. Keen still going to go in, but Faker's teleport. Now Keen is in so much trouble. Ruler comes down, protects with a Slurkle. And that is going to be it. Oh, never mind the edge of the shockwave, and it's a double kill for Faker on this Orianna.
Now poised to take this mid turret, are running away with game 1 of the series.
Yep, you've got Chovy now rotating down, but that will be feats of strength. Oh, never mind. Gen.G did lock down feats of strength by taking the top outer turret while we were speaking. But still, being able to break open the mid lane, a huge deal. Chovy now lying in wait in this brush.
They have that control vision in the pit, and they're just very aware that this is not going to be a possibility for them, and they're just going to instead try to look for a collapse on the Doran. But look at how much defensive vision he has here. He's just going to completely let this wave push in. He's going to back away. Are going to get Faker's teleport for this.
Yep, that's what they're looking for here, I guess, is the teleport is going to come on through. Keen finds the hookshot angle. There's a Hextech Ultimatum. He delivers the Gargoyle on top. Gumayusi taken down immediately. Now Carrier is going to turn up as Owner with that Crescent Guard is looking for Keen and will be able to find him. It's a 1-for-1 80 carry for top lane, but T1 still looking for more in the 4v4. Carrier dives forward, but Duro's able to get himself out of there with all of his summoner spells. And I don't know whether this works for Gen.G because they gave up a Drake and then went 1-to-1 in a fight. The Krugs and Keen's in the bottom lane. So this Otacon is it just belongs to T1 and Gen.G are not going to contest. So dropping the ball a little bit when it comes to being able to hold on to these objectives here. And T1 can also then augment that with with this outer turret. Gen.G just bleeding all over the place. Haven't been able to find a team fight that works for them. Just searching for where Gen.G went. This little runaround, this do-si-do that Gen.G did, will be able to deny the soul.
That was
very
a really
cute.
high-value blue trinket here that actually identified that Doran got off the dragon. They then scried where he was and came over here while pulling T1 to the Baron. And Gen.G just quite literally ran a circle around T1, playing around vision really well. And the turn off of Baron is kind of awkward for T1. It's going to be so reliant.
Oh yeah, public execution comes down. The flash forward from Keen, and Doran gets over the wall, but Keen follows him with the ulti. Canyon comes down, but I think this would have been a solo kill for the Camille, and I'm pretty sure she's online, but the jungler was in the bottom lane.
And that means they just have to hard send it in the bottom lane and try to get as many turrets as they can. They're going for mid first, and they're going to try to get that bottom outer as well.
Yep, the Baron comes up. The catch from the ulti out of Duro is fantastic, but the rest of the cavalry are turning up, and the outer turret is still getting worked on. Faker's still alive. Down goes Canyon as Chovy's heroic entrance doesn't look exactly like that, but Keen is still a monster. The Crescent Guard comes in from Owner, but he still goes down. Double taunt from Chovy, and the Winds of War will be able to take another one down from the grave. Faker is going to be able to shut him out, but Gen.G get rid of so many Barons.
It's only Guma's Baron that remains. They make the call to not push for that bottom.
But it looks like T1 want to find themselves a fight as Keen is off on the side, that GA in hand. The double siege minions are looking difficult for Gen.G to do anything about, as Canyon charging that Vault Breaker. The engaged Braum comes in from Duro as they're looking to split these fights, but Canyon is so difficult to deal with. Doran getting into that backline though, as now Ruler's doing his best to kite him out, and the public execution is ignorable, and now Chovy finds 3. Justice for Owner as it's a double for Canyon, and the Gen.G freight train is burning down the bottom lane as Ruler picks up his 3,000th assist, and I have a feeling the Camille scaled in this game.
I think so. Down goes Guma. It's the full clean ace of T1. And when we go back and look at how that play started, I think a lot of it is Doran late on the TP. This means Faker just doesn't have any agency. And I think that T1 are just going to have to give this up.
What is the Galio poke? What the heck was that about?
Big damage.
It's actually doing a fair bit of work. Here's Keen, finds the angle. He gets on top of Owner, but it's Ruler's damage that we need to be wary of. And he takes down Doran. The Crescent Guard comes in, but Chovy just says, no, you're not allowed to engage. Duro and Canyon dealing with Owner off to the side, and the rest of the fight is going to be there as Keen gets out of the way of Faker, and Faker will overextend, unfortunately. Chovy able to take that one down. Steadfast presence just doesn't feel very steadfast at this stage of the game, and Gen.G just think, nah, it's not really about the Dragon when we can kill a Nexus and take game 1.
I think the eyes were for Dragon. T1 get caught by the Keen flank, and their eyes are now for Nexus. Is Keen so far behind this game? How many games is this guy going to be? Like, remember, his game was 1-4 on Gwen, and just pops off later. This guy is taken over.
Well, Carrier now trying to be a hero, but that charge ain't going to work. Guma just dies in the blink of an eye, and the Nexus will explode. Gen.G looked. They gave up so much in this game. They looked down and out.
Just bought Gen.G enough time for Ruler to become the Fountain Laser, the god tier damage that Shannara can be, and I think T1 will probably regret giving that one over now.
Yeah, but the thing is, it worked. If this Gen.G composition gets rolling, it is very scary, especially with the fact that you tag anyone, then Jin locks them down, and then you can find these picks one after the other. The follow-up that they have with this Qiyana is high. The problem is, Qiyana doesn't win.
Big pivot across the LCK towards that. His owner is
the level
3 Jarvan.
It's a bit scary. Hebapol does bring Carrier in there as we started off the fight. Gen.G get the information, but I don't know whether it's going to be enough as the flash out from Duro. The flash forward, the sidestep is not good enough, and that is first blood. The Jarvan just gets it done every game.
Canyon going to go over here with the ward he has and actually start to steal some of these camps away. This is a great way to play the Qiyana. Is just hard farm. Don't interact with lanes.
Oh, God.
Not again.
Bottom lane getting absolutely punished. The teleport in from Faker towards his bottom side. As Gumyushi does have to flash, as Deadly Flourish will be avoided. The force shot not going to be enough, and he just reloads at him and dies. eyes.
And that's another huge win here for T1, set up by KIA once again on the bottom side with this Alistar pick. He picked it up early, it was blind, and it has gotten insane value here in this game already. See, Owner is rotating around here, grabbed first grub, and is now actually looking to try to take Ruler out of the picture here. Has Cataclysm.
Yep, KIA is going to ult early, picks up the aggro, and the barrier not quite going to be enough there, as there are feats of warfare picked up, as Faker in a little bit of trouble here, trying to rotate up to help out, as Molten Shield from Chovy comes in. Oh, the final auto is not enough to lock down the kill. He was almost a cool guy not looking at an explosion, but instead, there was no explosion.
For its cost. But yeah, we just keep dropping bears.
Yep. And Ruler tried to go for the invisible Deadly Flourish. Doesn't quite work out there. As Doran, this time with no flash, and he is just dead. That was a supreme display of nothing that he could have done about it.
Yep, putting her a little bit further accelerated in this game.
As there's the Cataclysm onto Chovy. Remember, he used that flash earlier on. He's trying to get Tibbers to get some value here, but it's just not going to work out. That's a very strong Jarvan to take down the Annie. Canyon a little bit slow, picking this one up. They'll take themselves the plate, and Canyon will be able to clear out these minions. And it just shows picking the Annie into the Jarvan is a risk, because he can just press R on you.
Again!
As, yeah, another bear comes down, and another knock-up comes on through here from Owner as Chovy. Just free food for Faker. That's 5-1 in advantage here for T1.
And your
0-1 for Owner.
Your big gold lead is just completely gone now.
Because he can just press R on you.
Again!
As, yeah, another bear comes down, and another knock-up comes on through here from Owner as Chovy. Just free food for Faker. That's 5-1 in advantage here for T1.
And your
0-1 for Owner.
Your big gold lead is just completely gone now.
Some spell flux connects, but otherwise not too much more. The flash 4, and it's going to be the bear coming down. Faker will be punished as KIA comes on through. Owner just gets out of there though, protecting that shutdown gold. And KIA is going to have to flash, but I just don't know whether that's going to be enough as he's running, and that is going to be able to get him to safety. Guma was just left alone though.
Owner does have flash and could look for a steal potential here. Duro's holding the gate though, not allowing him to get in. Guma comes over, really greedy here.
Yeah, that is going to be the Dragon coming on through. No Zenith Blade to land here from Duro, who is a bit far up, but it isn't going to be too much of an issue. But every time Gen.G are going for something, there's someone on T1 breaking their stuff.
Aatrox gets some serious work done on the top side, and T1 are set up for this Herald now.
And this is going to be a difficult one for Gen.G to contest. Deadly Flourish onto KIA, but he's not too worried about that. Has the Unbreakable Will, as now Canyon looking for an angle. He's getting in amongst it. The curtains have been called as he flashes out of the way of the Cataclysm. Duro going down very low. Gumayushi doing so much work. T1's health bars are getting lower. Keen right in amongst it, but Chovy not quite doing enough. Ruler just getting soloed out by Doran, and he will be able to finish that one off. Chovy in the back of the pit is just dead to the bullets of Guma, and T1 are just running the rift outside of Keen, being quite frustrating, but he'll be zombified and taken out himself. A monstrous win here for T1.
A very haphazard setup from Gen.G as well. When we watch the replay, I want everyone to watch Canyon's ultimate as he goes in onto Faker, onto items, and is just not able to get anything done in this team fight. Guma's untouched, massive value with his ultimate, and just his straight up auto attacks do a ton of work here. He's 3,000 gold ahead now, really from their AD carry as well as their soul laners this game. And Gen.G are just so far behind the 8-ball. Like, Duro keeps getting caught, just trying to get any semblance of vision as Faker may be caught.
Well, the flash is going to come on through. Double teleports invested as Owner is going to find Canyon here. There's the headbutt over the wall. Ruler in so much trouble. Deadly Flourish goes wide, and he is just dead, ladies and gentlemen. It looked like it was going to be a play from Gen.G, but T1 just turned it on its head.
Another ult from Canyon that just completely does nothing in the attempt to try to peel for his teammates there, but KIA's flank. Chef's kiss on this Alistar, 8 out of 11 KP this game. He has run it from start to finish.
But he's definitely not going to play the game in this one.
And has Canyon played the game in this one?
He's farmed. He has almost the most farm on his team, only losing out to Chovy, and he did have a slight lead in that department a little bit earlier on. It's kind of ridiculous.
Turret Eater is T1 down in the bottom lane. As they give Otacon up, they're going to get the Constellation turret here. They're scaling.
Yeah.
Just don't know if they should be. They're so far behind.
Oh, Deadly Flourish comes on in. It is going to be Otacon picked up by T1 very, very soon, but Gen.G are at least getting something for it.
Yeah, I mean, if they get double turret, that's a lot of gold, actually, over to Gen.G.
They will be losing this inner turret towards the top side of the map, so I don't see it necessarily being a phenomenal outcome.
It's not.
Gumayusi does take this.
It's not losing the game outright by trying to fight on Otacon, so keeps them in this game. Learn from not TPing until it was too late last time and say, I just probably just be there just in case. And you know, if they walk away, I'll just go side lane in the top lane. And look at the map. Like, if you toggled the vision for Gen.G, they can see like nothing outside of the base except Canyon dying. That's what they can see.
Canyon is the bullet. Oh, that was pretty cute. Getting the zoom in there as well, as Canyon is very close to dead.
That's what I'm hoping for, Atlas.
No, I just don't think it is. If it's still being played now, I think it's just going to keep getting played. It just must be really fun. It must be doing a lot of good things in scrims. You know, that's what I'm expecting. But also, it's doing a lot of winning in the LPL, right? Like, we know that it can win.
In other regions where they play very differently, I think it's very strong. And I also think that with how LPL teams play, if they clash with LCK teams, they'll have a better understanding of how to utilize the pick.
Giving Gen.G a little bit of information as in goes Ona. Deadly Flourish just to spot what's happening in that brush there, but it looks like Gen.G are not going to be face-checking just yet.
Okay, this is...
Oh dear, never mind. Maybe they will go in. There's the Zenith Blade from Duro. He didn't really want to be there, and Ona is going to be able to take him down. The Supreme display of talent is decent, but not quite good enough, as down goes Tibbers as well. Chovy doing battle against Faker here, who flashes to pick up the kill on his opponent mid laner. And now Keen finds his way into the fight, and he's going to take the death exit this time around after being a zombie for just a little while. And the curtains are not being called for Ruler. I think they will actually be called for Ruler, as now Ona is going to be making his way over and looking to try and take him down. The Realm Warp comes in. The Flag and Drag doesn't do too much of anything as the Aatrox delivery comes on through. And Gumayushi's like, guys, why don't we just win the game? Looking to block off the next two that are making their way over. Deadly Flourish is decent here, as this is some yakety sacks coming on through here as Canyon trying to get himself out. They have regrouped though, and in comes the cow! Carrier gonna be able to deliver a double kill over to Gumayusi, and that was a weird little passage of play, but ultimately it's going to be even more winning for T1 as it's given players like Duro the opportunity to respawn before they win this game.
It almost feels like a psychological warfare move here from T1 as they just smash them over and over again before the Nexus falls.
Yeah.
And Atlas, we knew we would, but we have a series on our hands now.
It was already all over our hands after game number one, and it is now being confirmed as T1 will make this one a best of three. Game two, Ona on Jarvan. We saw it last time out. Gen.G, I reckon, will be sweating after that performance. A real bounce back here from T1.
And Duro kept checking, kept dying, and Doran does a ton of damage in this game. It felt like Doran in teamfights could just pick a target and chase them away and or kill them every single time. Kind of crazy. Karma, a little bit more reliable, a little bit more common. And hard push.
Yep, we've seen the Civic Karma so many times.
Yeah, it's kind of a barrel special with aiming. They're really the team that played it the most. As Doran is now having this wave pushing over. Faker does have his ult, and they could look for a play. Keen potentially caught.
Yep, there's the counter-strike. It's actually going to get the value here as the seismic shove pushes him back. No flash available, and there's first blood going over to Doran's Jax. Didn't mention that earlier on, but of course got that one in 2017.
That should be Dragon in exchange here for T1, you have to think. His owner is clearing his jungle on his way over to that full control they have on the bottom side. TP is going to come through from Keen, who is holding the mid wave here, but so many plates, like you said, go over, and they get the Dragon.
It is going to be 3 grubs traded for 1 Dragon, but also Jax with a lot of spare time. And almost 400 gold lead here as well. But it is a CS lead that's actually been put together by Keen. Yeah, nice little charm is going to connect onto Faker here, but he's throwing a whole lot of rocks around. Actually flashes to get out of the way of this Grand Starfall from Canyon, and they look for the dive. There's the flash stun, and they lock down the kill. Still, Canyon is going to be taken out, so a 1-for-1 from the GOAT that did crash into the turret, so still going to be working out relatively well for Gen.G.
Still worth for them, just very impressive from Faker.
Yep, it's always good to appreciate. As Canyon is going to face check and isn't feeling fantastic about it. On the hunt is Gumayusi as Ruler going to rotate over, but it's mainly just to watch this Pantheon die. as he's not going to be resetting in any fights coming on up, as Double Dragon being considered here by T1. Got a little bit close to an Earth, Wind, and Fire. Thankfully, we do have an angle for it, as it's another Ocean Soul, second in a row. And that's Feats of Strength locked in for T1 as well, as all 3 games. Early game has belonged to them, as Doran going to get stunned up, does flash away, but it looks like it's going to be this turret going on over to Gen.G.
There's 2 turrets under threat here for Gen.G at the same time. We won't see Faker commit for this one, but the Herald dropped in mid with this wave here. It should just be a trade of turrets. Doran does lose his flash.
Oh dear.
And this is going to be a collapse for sure.
Yeah, there's a Rift Herald on our way down here, as Faker is going to try and shove Keen. It doesn't quite work out here, as the Rift Herald is just going to bypass. They pick up the turret, and now the Cyclone on top of the Gwen. No way for him to get out of that, and that is just Ona once again taking control here in Game 3.
Yeah, I cannot stress.
Was overextended and did see Ona get back into that Rift Herald, so it's likely that he was heading somewhere down, as he's looking to do the play one more time, this time without the Cyclone, but we'll see whether that actually matters as the Weaver's Wall comes down. Charm is going to miss, and Chovy has to eat so many rocks and has to flash, as now the turnaround potentially coming in here, as Keen looking for the angle, wanting revenge onto this Talia, as the needlework comes out. Chovy finds the Charm, as Gumayushi finds himself so far away from the rest of his team, but maybe that's part of the play as they go 2 for 1. I guess the backline ganking Sivir kind of worked out.
No, it absolutely worked out in the end. I think Guma thought he has priced into it. He's going to go for the play regardless.
Yep, Ona's going to be moving in. I mean, T1 have full information as to what's going on here, and Keen's already down to 50% health. Ruler trying to get some damage down. Gen.G are going to be looking for the turn as Ona moves on over, and now Chovy looking for the angle. Pop Blossom connects, finds only one as Faker flashes his way out. Doran avoids all of the feathers so beautifully, and it's the Nico that goes down first. The Wukong steals away the Otacon. Of course Ona does. The man's playing like a beast today. Keen does manage to find the value, and now it's Ruler's turn to pop off as Canyon trying to run his way out. The seismic shove doesn't find the angle, but he still jumps onto a rock as Doran's so scary. Finds the Empower, takes down the Pantheon, and it's Chovy and Ruler left alive in the end, but the Otacon goes to T1.
The Otacon goes to T1. Canyon was on the left side of that fight.
Great play from T1, really showing the value of Talia in these team fights.
This looks like what the Legend Group games all looked like for so much of rounds 3 to 5, where if you get a small lead, you just take over the game. Gold lead-wise, not that huge here, but when you look at the fights and how T1 have been so dominant, how clean they've been looking in side lanes, the fact that the Sivir is going to scale, we'll let the minions do most of the work here on this turret. Although, with Canyon here, I think he should just be able to get it.
Yep, there is the outer turret falling over, so that is going to mean that the gold lead is under 1,000.
That Gwen damage is going to be massive if you can get just a little bit of time.
Oh, Chovy off on a flank angle. Does get the Warrior Trickster out of Ona, but it's not a massive cooldown. Seismic Shove going to go wide this time. Canyon able to walk that one off. Gen.G with control of the river for the moment as Doran gets charmed up. But there's the Cyclone. Into the backline goes Ona, but he's kind of alone and hasn't really used his ultimate for much. Does flash to get himself to safety. As in goes Doran now. He will go golden, but this is so disjointed, and Keen is going to get on top of Gumayushi. Goes golden himself by so much space, but where's the follow-up? Keen just runs and will get shoved back towards Faker and takes a huge rock. That is going to be the Dragon secured with the feather pullback, and now I think Doran may eventually die, although no, he doesn't. He has Leap Strike, so he's just fine. Yeah, Ruler with 4 items complete as well, like that Bloodthirster on top of everything. He is very, very frightening and can now play a whole lot more aggressively with that extra shield, with the extra lifesteal, but that is going to be a phenomenal shove. Chovy has to go golden at the beginning of this fight as now Doran looking for the angle, tries to get the counter strike, but they take down Chovy. That's the biggest part of it. Faker gets into the backline. Duro just melting so incredibly quickly. Keen goes golden, but I don't think he's surviving for much longer, and Ona will finish off the Gwen. The entire topside are destroyed. Ruler and Duro not knowing what to do next as they destroy the team fight.
It's a smash win in the team fight for T1. The shoves from Faker, the Talia has just been out of control this game, and now just a lone bot duo trying to defend against this massive push from T1 to bring themselves to match point.
Let's see whether they can actually finish it here as Doran going in, flashes forward to get on top of Ruler, and of course the seismic shove there. This game is over, ladies and gentlemen, and T1 have match point now for the next 2 games at least.
Looking like they are the stronger team here.
Oh my God.
And the gold lead the entire game.
And the thing is, I think if you base it off what we saw in the performance from both of these teams in their last best of 5, I don't think it's an upset at all.
When you're looking at the draft here from T1, sure, the Varus has a lot of range, but you can just simply overwhelm him with all the frontline you have. Even if you catch, they have to ban Victor because Faker's champion pool is so small, but okay, we're never going to talk about it because Doran is once again the target.
Yeah, Canyon going to look to see if he can throw a rock at him. As Doran is just traveling through all of these tunnels. At the same time, Keria looking a little worse for wear as T1 looking to take down the Keen Sante, and that is going to be first blood over to Ona, and he should be able to survive. In the meantime, trying to get back through yet another tunnel, and Doran is just making them look silly, getting so much of the health back as well as he tunnels underground. Another tunnel going to be used. Man, he's like a kid playing on an elevator as finally he gets slammed into the wall and taken down, but he's claimed so many flashes and made them look silly.
On the bottom side of the map with this Varus push into the lane-swapped Cassante, definitely exactly what T1 wants right now, and we'll be able to get this
Canyon going for the full wraparound here. As Doran, let's see whether he can survive this as the tunnel comes on through. Duro still looking for the hook and manages to get him yet again. But I just don't know whether it's quite going to be enough because he gets underneath the turret. Will the Ren stacks come through? And yes, they will. Duro survives.
Into a big damage threat later on, especially with this composition as, Chovy may get caught.
Yeah, Destiny does come in. Miasma is down. Good position there as well as Faker is just going to get picked up and taken down, but it is a counter ult here from Ona. Still the Fate's call to keep Duro safe. The flash over from Chovy. There's that killer instinct we've been looking for. And it's 2 on the floor for T1. Gen.G looking for even more as the blast cone from Canyon picks up a rock, and Keria finds himself in a very awkward spot. Ruler able to find it, and that is another hook landing here from Duro. Ruler just lets Keria melt.
Knows that he was fine to go for those last few autos and pick that one up.
Doesn't quite have his flash available, so it's a bit of a scary one. Is the hook going to connect? Duro! Oh man, this young player playing very well, but it's a great handshake here from Keria, just not enough to deal with the Impale, and this Renata pick away is being punished.
And yeah, this is a 3-kill Kalista.
Yep, and it's also a 100% kill contribution Canyon.
Yeah.
He exists in this game!
I was going to mention it earlier, but Canyon has had
the beginnings of a big advantage if they can continue to snowball this one through. Of course, 13.5 minutes, only 1,500 gold as the Destiny comes on through here. Canyon in a lot of trouble as he flashes over the wall. The Impale going to be avoided as Keen looking to try and duel Doran here, but it's a lot of damage out from Guma to help the Rek'Sai pick up the kill. And the flash hook! And it's going to be both of these top laners going down. The bailout not quite going to work here as the Impale comes through at the same time. Gumayushi is on the warpath, but so is Chovy. Finds the overextended Varus, and now it's Ona throwing chains around, but they are not going to do anything. And the counterpunch from Gen.G just a bit better.
Now Ruler just going to grab a plate here in the mid lane as well. We'll push another wave in that no one can answer. And this is not the kind of composition, I think, T1, that you want to be scrapping with.
See whether they can actually get in a position to contest. As Canyon gonna drive on in, gets himself over the wall. It will be a 50-50, but it's Ona that wins it. Duro still hunting, looking for a bit of a target. Hostile takeover comes in as Ona goes golden. Keen right in amongst it. The double knock-up from Doran's fantastic. He's being bailed out as well as Keen somehow survives. There is no way that he should be allowed to do that, and down goes Ona. Once again, every team fight is just Gen.G all the way.
Yeah, and T1 feel priced into these. They feel like they're behind. They do not want to just give up every objective, especially when you consider this mid turret is so low already. This is going to go over to Gen.G. They cannot find a hook angle here, though.
Yeah, the Destiny is going to come down. They're going to look for Canyon, or at least look to tell him to leave, as he gets a fair bit of rock value. Oh, the hook onto Faker! Duro finds another one! And the attempted bailouts, but it's just too expensive. He's not leaving the police station this time. Down goes another kill, and it's a double for Ruler, make him 5-0-4 now.
This is Gen.G grabbing another dragon here. It's Mountain Soul with the Cassante in the tank.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Yeah, if it's a triple mountain with Cassante Skarner.
He's like, I'm so scared. Duro's like, I'm waiting for you.
Yep.
Here you are.
There he is, special delivery, and he will get some extra time with the bailout, but not very much. Chains of Corruption come in. That is an attempted steal opportunity here, but just slammed against the wall. The Otacon getting amongst it at the same time, and that is going to be Otacon secured by Canyon. He gets a casual kill at the same time. Double over to Ruler, and now Faker finds the gold card. Hook is going to miss, but the Twisted Fate surviving does not help. The T1 fans feel better about this game.
Yeah, I think Gen.G fans are saying I'll see you in 5 for T1 as Gen.G look to set up.
Oh my, another one! Duro is, okay, from now on, every single game, teams, they need to ban Blitzcrank. He hasn't even been prioritizing this champion. He's so good at it.
I mean, like, Keria was the guy who caught aiming.
1-0-15.
I think aiming's feeling a little bit better. Keria has to be the one to check, right? But
yeah,
like, you're playing without into Blitzcrank, which is why this is such a great pick from ahead. And that's why I said in the draft, I'm like, this is such a confident match point on the line. LCK Finals on the line.
Well, Duro's going to get a flash as he wanders on over. Chovy going to get ganked by multiple people. Petrifying gazes all over the place. But Gumayusi gets the shutdown, and an important one at that. 1,100 gold.
Plus,
they will trade their inhibitor turret for it.
Yeah, maybe some bounty gold picked up here, but this turret's so healthy. They have no wave. Canyon helps clear out the rest of that. So no inhibitor to go down, but the inhibitor turret does fall. T1 get the kill and the shutdown, but not that gold.
Can Canyon be damaged? Okay, maybe he can now as the Destiny coming in on top of everything. Gumayusi starting to get some shots over as Canyon just drives his way out. Gumayusi still hunting for it. He flashes into the enemy base, gets impaled. Now he's in turret range. Duro comes over and Canyon, yeah, he's a tank.
I get it. Failing in another early game because their early games looked so weak. Canyon looks so weak, but this has been his best game we've seen in playoffs.
Yeah,
he's
and
19 out of 20.
Oh god, another hook! And it even caught Jonas Strong by surprise as Doran just goes down. Ona now dancing around behind the Baron pit, but Keen, he's a bouncer. He's gonna try and stop him. Ona might be able to get in, but it's not gonna be the steal. It's somehow Cassiopeia that actually gets it as the hook finally won. I see it miss. Good sidestep there from Carrier. Does it matter? No. No, it doesn't at all.
No.
Is going to be able to buy a little bit of extra space.
Carrier is still running away, by the way, in the top.
Oh, okay. Well, Keen will find him. So there we go. Bought some time.
And it's just like Gen.G are slash dancing on you as we go to Silver Scrapes. Momentum is completely Gen.G's now in this series. Did this with Red Side. The Callista pick worked a treat. I wanted to say I trusted them for the confidence in it, but I thought maybe we were just going to end here and Gen.G say no. Ruler 8-0-8 on his iconic Callista.
And for me, this whole game is just Duro. This guy on this Blitzcrank, just incredible. I think that Canyon has come back alive. Chovy's come back alive, but Duro is just a man possessed on this robot. Let's see whether he can find another hook as they do get the knock up onto Ruler. Take him down immediately. The Impale is only onto one. Chovy still there for the DPS, but T1 finding kill after kill as Chovy, oh, the handshake is fantastic. Owner is going to get taken down, but they take out the Cassiopeia. Can Canyon be damaged? Is still a question that we're all asking, and Gumayusi, he might be able to answer it. He does have the bailout, and as it turns out, no, he cannot be damaged. Canyon is immortal. He finds more rocks, and now he's just going to get to work, trying to use this lawnmower to take down Faker, not the Nexus. All three of them weren't enough, and the Scorpion will bring us to Silver Scrapes.
Canyon's got a heart of steel at the end of this game. Gets the kill on Guma, the snipe just before.
That is the Canyon that we have wanted to see all playoffs and haven't really at all. Gumayusi did a lot of damage
to a Skarner that he could not hurt, but
yes.
number went up, but health bar did not go down for Canyon.
22k on a Skarner is...
You can just pop people, but he'll play Vex!
All right, it's been a while. The Vex is going to be locked in here for Chovy. This is a champion that he's really enjoyed in the past.
Man, Gen.G love their all-in drafts in the second half of this series, don't they?
Yeah.
I don't think we're getting the insane scaling game here from the draft that we see from Gen.G. I think they are going to be fighting a lot. It's going to be a lot of tension, and it starts now.
Paranoia comes down. The Nature's Grasp does come on through, but it is so much damage onto the Lilia, and she just gets obliterated. Keria now finding himself in an awkward spot as Chovy flashes over to pick up the feats of warfare, and even there's trains coming into the top side of the map. Doran to try and boop Keen away. Keen just trying to have fun like the rest of his friends on this map, but he's a top laner in the end.
Chovy did get a extra back off during all of that. Now the wave is pushing towards him as Doran is caught.
This is not where he really wanted to go for the honey fruit, and Chovy is right in position. Doesn't quite find the Q, and does find the ulti to pick up the kill there. Chovy might actually be able to find another one, and then does hit it onto Faker.
Means that chances are the soul will be more impactful. Again, could still be like an ocean. We'll find out momentarily whether we'll know what that second dragon is.
Triple grub Ziggs.
Triple grub for Ziggs, plus, you know, the side laning Jace. This is not a strong side laning composition here for Gen.G, but I don't think we're getting the insane scaling game here from the draft that we see from Gen.G. I think they are going to be fighting a lot. It's going to be a lot of tension, and it starts now.
Paranoia comes down. The Nature's Grasp does come on through, but it is so much damage onto the Lilia, and she just gets obliterated. Keria now finding himself in an awkward spot as Chovy flashes over to pick up the feats of warfare, and even there's trains coming into the top side of the map. Doran to try and boop Keen away. Keen just trying to have fun like the rest of his friends on this map, but he's a top laner in the end.
On the reset, by the way, Guma and Keria, with those 3 grubs, are going to get the whole turret!
Okay, there is just first turret. This is what Ziggs is supposed to do.
Yeah.
Somewhere, Orcs is like, oh man, Guma gets it. He's figured it out.
You use the Vex and the Nocturne ults on that skirmish, and then there's...
They want to get that culling over the top. They want Ruler to be able to actually fight in close range.
This is my favorite type of draft disparity, as we're going to see another attempt to get Keen here, just thwarted by a rotation up. He's going to try to turn this around.
Yep, looking for the train. They will be able to knock up Doran, but the Nature is grasping. Knocked back. Great satchel there from Gumayushi, but the quickness is so good as well. Chovy over to the top, and it is going to be the Drake being taken by Canyon, and somehow all of Gen.G does survive. Keen just a bit too tanky.
Let this Herald go over. They are going to have to be on set attack right now.
Yeah, they don't have the quickness though. Duro missing that ability to engage, and it does look like T1 should be able to grab this, and there it goes. Their second objective is going to be locked down. T1 with first turret, and Gen.G with feats of warfare, and so the next objective will get feats of strength for either team.
And I think with this Herald, it's likely second turret will be T1's as well, with this Ziggs pick. Looking for this top one, maybe.
Yeah, Keen. Let's see what Gen.G can actually get done here, as he does bring back the soul, but there's the Paranoia. The fear comes on through. Mega Inferno Bomb to try and offer some damage back, but it's not going to be enough. Faker is just going to get taken out, but unfortunately didn't quite work out, and even then I don't know whether it would have been enough. Does mean that Canyon doesn't have to invest his flash into the play, as Chovy looks for a bit of an angle there. Redemption for some support onto Doran, and that is going to be out of turret picked up. The Ziggs just doing precisely what he wants to do. So, I mean, if you're ever going to put all your eggs in a basket, probably go with that one.
If it says Chovy on it, it's a pretty good basket.
Yeah, good basket, that one. As Nature's Grasp coming on in here, it's a big commitment. Mega Inferno Bomb onto said Chovy, but he isn't going to get taken down just yet. Now the Paranoia, now the re-engage, and Doran is just dead. Still these health bars from Gen.G are so low. Canyon having to get himself out of there, and Owner just spins on top of this Rakan. Canyon somehow lives for so incredibly long. Gumayushi is so healthy as well. Somehow, it's a Gen.G advantage in the fight, but it's T1 that get on top of this dragon.
I think they're thinking better of it though. Faker!
Oh, the fear does come on through still. Faker not going to die to one combo, but isn't going to be able to take the dragon. Yeah, Redemption coming on through. That is going to give them the information that this has been taken, as there are a lot of presence, but they're not being woken up as Chovy off to the side. Faker comes on in, there's the Paranoia. They're looking to try and turn this. Chovy lands the ult, gets in there, and both of the carries just get destroyed as Lilia and Yone go down. Doran tries to get out, but now Keria not going to be so lucky. Feats of strength come in as well for Gen.G as they take the Otacon, and that looked like a much better fight for them.
Yeah, much better fight for them. Also, we'll grab Soul Point in this game. When we first saw the Chemtech Dragon, we're like, we don't know what Soul it's going to be. It's an Ornn, again, with Mountain Soul. Another Mountain Soul game here for Gen.G, and
As Canyon moves over. Watch out, Eep there from Ona. Will do a fair bit of damage, but doesn't quite find the pirouette as Bowling Ball collected there by Canyon, who does take a little bit of a nap, but not hit by the sweet spot of that one. Redemption does come on down here as Paranoia coming on through yet again. Ruler finding the angles there, and Chovy connects so many ultis. There's the fear onto Faker. He's unable to actually make his way forward as Duro not going to finish off Doran, who is on his last legs in this fight. The ulti from Faker comes through, but it's onto Keen. And he's basically immortal on this on. Ona still able to get some work done though, as now he's spinning around this battle. Keen just headbutts Doran to get him out of there. And Canyon and Chovy, the last men standing on their side, whereas it's Gumayusi Ona holding down the fort for T1. Another very even team fight in this game.
All right, these are the kind of even team fights I was talking about. I'd love to see in a Game 5. But like the big win is for T1 that they have the better set now for this Dragon fight. They have the zoning, they have the range to back this up. The vision isn't lasting forever here as Gen.G takes that away from them. How much poke can they land before Gen.G start this Dragon up is the real question. Keen?
Yeah, how good is his sleep going to be as well? There's the knock-up and Carrier just dies! Mega Inferno Bomb also not able to do anything! As Gen.G, they did push the Paranoia button, but now the Redemption comes down. They're basically full health, and the ulti connects onto Guma! He gets feared, and you can understand why he's scared, because this Gen.G are on the warpath in this game! Faker gets over the wall, but Chovy is lurking, and he will be able to finish off the Yone. The resets come on in, he finds the ult, he finds the Q, and there's the double kill for the Vex. Gen.G, they take the soul, and now they're looking for Baron.
They're looking for Baron. They have a 3,000 gold lead. That collapse onto Guma was maybe the winning moment here for Gen.G in the series. His owner looks for a trap here, tries to put those health bars low, tries to dissuade them from doing a Baron, but he's got no flash and no chance of stopping Gen.G from taking this one down. They give him no entry, no angle.
Still looking a bit absent, Canyon as well. This is what happens when Gen.G are firing on all cylinders. As the train has left the station, there's a knock-up onto Carrier. This tree not lasting very long. The knock-up immediately afterwards onto Doran as well. As Keen manages to find that angle, and now Chovy is lurking, looking for the ulti. This time he connects it. The ult from Faker to try and pick him up though, but unfortunately, these wallets be heavy. And down goes the Ziggs with no response.
Looks like Gen.G might have their opportunity for revenge on KT, and potentially then revenge on Hanwha for the Summer Finals in 2024. One last opportunity to defend for T1.
Bit of a faceplant here from Keen, but we'll see whether they actually have the damage to take him down. I don't even think Nexus turrets are really doing anything to this on. First Nexus turret will be taken out as T1 clearing out the wave. And with everyone respawning and some lower health bars, it looks like Gen.G are trying to get themselves out of their Faker. Going forward though, looking for an angle. Bowling Ball's connecting as Ona doesn't quite have the lilting lullaby, and it's a flank TP angle from a Ziggs. Chovy is going to find him, but this health bar is so... Oh my god, he just died in an instant! He walked around a corner and just... Chovy went boo! And he's dead!
And that's the end of it!
Oh my god, Faker is now taking so much damage. The train drives on through there. They're getting the fears. Ona's going to be taken down, and the Nexus will follow. Gen.G will avoid the play-ins, and you will see the MSI defending champs at the Inspire Arena for a rematch against KT.